Welcome to Everybody's Got a Price. I am your host, Jeff Dye, holding garbage and a cell phone, and next to me is my favorite garbage, Josh Nelson. How you doing, baby?
What a great intro. They're getting better and better every week.
I'm excited to be here with you.
Yeah, we can touch each other on the couch. I don't know if you guys do. We got new furniture and
upgrade.
We love it. Looks good.
It looks vintage, but it's new. It's long, you know.
Yeah,
it's trying to find all the positives of it.
It's a great couch. It's green. It looks good. Matches the backdrop. I'm excited. Let's do this.
I'm excited too. Let's introduce our guest.
Let's do it. I mean, first of all, before we even say it, because nobody's seen him yet, if we just said, and you know who we're talking about, just the sharpest dressed dude in comedy, they already
in our circle,
they already might even be able to guess who it is. But that's one intro, and then now
he's like white Cedric sort of entertainer. No, one of my favorite people. I feel like even before we were like friends, I was always singing your praises. I was going, he's a thinker, he's a talker, he's a businessman, failed and successful. Like, I'm always like fascinated by you, and it's been a real pleasure of mine to become closer friends with you these last few years. The very talented, the very funny Bowers.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah. Also, now that I just said that, because I usually say Chris Bowers, I feel like I've introduced you as Chris so many times, and you go, it's just Bowers. And now I'm doing Bowers, and the other day you said Chris to somebody, and I go, well, I just learned not to say Chris.
Yeah, why did I say Chris?
It was somebody in a green room or something, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but you don't like Chris.
No, I don't need to be introduced as Bowers. Like, I'm not Oprah,
okay.
Right? So, but people call me, like, even my mom calls me Bowers, because when I was in 8th grade, my mom when I was in 8th grade, my mom got remarried. I have a stepbrother my exact same age, also named Chris.
Yeah, interesting.
So after a month of confusion, he got Chris and I got Bowers, because his last name was Herman, and Pee-wee's Big Adventure just come out, and we didn't want to get beat up every day in middle school. So like, my brother Kevin will call me, his last name is Bowers, and be like, hey, Bowers, it's Kevin.
Interesting. So everyone's calling you Bowers, even your mother.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. So, like, occasionally some girl will be like, I'm going to call you Chris, and that's how I know she wants to fuck me.
Boy. That's the tell.
Bowers the entertainer.
Yeah, but on stage, I'm say Chris Bowers. I don't want to be pretentious. It's not, because it's not a pretension thing. It's just that's really what everybody calls me.
Yeah, I don't think you should worry if anyone thinks it's pretentious. Who cares what they think? But yeah, I had to unlearn it because it's saved in my phone as Chris Bowers, and we had like a work relationship. Right. So I was like, oh, you know Chris Bowers? But now I've unlearned it. It's Bowers.
But when I owned the comedy club, it was always funny. When I owned the comedy club, people would come up and be like, I know the owner. And they would go, what's his name? And if they said Bowers, then I did know them. If they said Chris, they knew I just got drunk and gave him a business card.
That's really smart.
And it didn't really count.
You know, Mario's enemy, his birth name is Chris Bowser. So he goes by Bowser because he just doesn't, want the whole Chris thing.
Yeah,
man. Same shit. Great correlation.
Here's how you know Josh isn't in a good mood. that stupid little joke did nothing for him.
That joke, your Mario jokes never do anything for me, bro.
For years, I would say I'd say Bowers, like Bowser, but nice.
Oh, I like that.
There we go.
That's how I do. Because people would always go, like Bowser? I'm like, yeah, basically, sure.
Something also, I don't know if you can see, but he's also got matching shoes to the jacket, which is, I feel like you always match your shoes to your jacket.
Go ahead and hit him with your anecdote about why you dress like this.
Well, I dress like this because everywhere I go, fun people come talk to me, and people that aren't fun don't.
Okay.
And I match the shoes to make friends with black people.
Okay.
When you match a second thing,
it is black people. I was going to say black guys, but it is black people, yeah.
So does every jacket you have, because you have a lot of these like fun, like sparkly jackets, do you have shoes that match every one of them?
There's only so many colors.
Yeah. What I learned, I used to have a bunch of different blue ones and a bunch of different red ones, and I found it was like no one pays that much attention. So now I've got one blue one, one red one, one white one, one green one, and so I have a pair of shoes that matches each jacket. But I only really have like 6 jackets.
Do you make them?
No, you buy them off the rack.
Why are you laughing at that? The shoes match perfect. I can't imagine
these shoes I bought with the jacket the same spot.
Okay,
that's more logical than
sometimes I will find the shoes first, and then I'll find a jacket that matches them perfectly later.
Well, we're going to have Carrot Top on this podcast, and that do you make it is going to be a great question.
Yeah.
Everything on his body and in his act he made. So.
Yeah, is that okay?
No, it's not, Josh. Josh and I are going to fight.
I know,
my question,
tonight's the night.
And I haven't listened to all of them. Is this mustache I got a price thing, or someone paying you to do this mustache
thing? No,
man.
Some girl said it looked good, and
I told her I've been
since.
encouraging it too.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Right.
The girl said it was good, and he said it looked good, and I don't know. I'm just trying something new.
I think it looks great.
What I've been doing for the last like 10 years or so hasn't really been working, so I'm like switching it up, dude.
I think the mustache looks great on you.
Thank you.
Big fan.
I don't know how to groom it. That's the hard part. I've been told so many different things.
Like most problems in your life, you're one YouTube search away from figuring it out immediately.
Dude, have you YouTube
Just
search?
go on YouTube.
Have you done it? There's 3,000 different ways to do it.
Josh, you know what you can do? How to groom
we just did that.
I know.
We just
but that
did
was
the
you.
whole thing.
There you go. Look.
And what do you get? 300 different ways? Now I'm on Reddit. And I got to get a subscription.
You don't need a subscription for Reddit.
Make it more specific. How do you groom a mustache if you're Josh Nelson? That's what you do.
Yeah.
Then it comes with one.
I don't know. Like,
wouldn't it be great if it was one
you have
video?
looked into it, and it's a lot of shit.
It's just a lot. I don't know if I want it to go bigger. I don't know if I want it to go straight. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know what. It's just, I just want to be a cowboy. That's it. I just want to rope and ride and shoot guns.
It looks cool. And the longer it gets, the cooler it looks.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You should twist it at the end. Do a little twist.
I would not do that.
Yeah, I don't want to be a craft cocktail bartender.
You know what's funny is I make fun of guys in my act. I go, that barista has the stupid mustache. But I kind of like the mustache, so I feel like bad when I make fun of it.
It depends on how much curl
Well,
it
it
is.
gets a laugh, but then sometimes after the show, a guy will have that mustache, and I'll be like, oh, he probably took that a little
And he's
personal.
like, come on, man.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck? You're my favorite comic. And like one guy, there was an old guy in Denver just this weekend. He had a really good one, as far as perfect circles, but his went down. I've never seen it go down into a perfect circle. Wow. And so I go, but yours goes down, because I was trying to save myself. Like, I wasn't talking about you. But
I was talking about the up-forming ones.
Plus, he was an old guy, so he's clearly not a barista or anything. But he said that the mask mandate, he always went up, but when he was wearing his mask, it would
just curl out.
Yeah, so he just went down, and then the mask kind of ironed it down to his so he started going down. It became his thing.
That's funny.
Yeah, little shout out to that guy if he's listening.
Yeah, shout out to that guy.
Well, you gotta find a mustache that's for you.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'll have it. I'm doing it right now. It is whatever.
I think it looks better.
Thank you. I mean,
I just grew my hair long. It took 3.5 years, and I've never had long hair before. And I tell you, it's the closest I've ever come to understanding when I've had a girlfriend's been in a terrible relationship, and she can't get out of it because you keep thinking, I've already invested this much time.
You're pot committed.
If I cut it off now,
100%.
The 2 years it was a pain in the ass will not be worth it.
Yeah.
Men feel
if
that
I give
with
it
their
one more
beards and
week,
mustaches.
if I give it one more week, maybe it won't be a piece of shit. And so I finally to a point where I kind of like it now. But
how long will you let it go?
I mean, I'll try. I probably won't get it much longer than that. I like the length right now.
How much to shave your head today?
Would never do that.
Really, for $5,000?
I'm 51. I'm afraid it wouldn't come back.
Really?
$1 million.
I wouldn't do it for $1 million.
Yeah,
Whoa,
yeah,
you're crazy.
That's insane.
I wouldn't shave my head for any amount. I probably would shave my beard for 10 grand, but I have nightmares that I accidentally shaved my beard off. Because me without a beard is a totally different person. I grew this 12 years ago, and it's changed everything about my entire personality.
Our buddy Brant used to get hammered and then just shave his beard off. And he wouldn't even recall that. I don't know if he's blacked out, but he's definitely just hammered. And then he'll wake up in shame. Fuck, I shaved my beard off. And I watch him for weeks be a little depressed that he did it, because he's he's got a little bit of a chubbier face at the time when he was doing it. And
as Chad Daniels says, it's sweatpants for your face.
I mean, let's be Brant's kind of ugly too, so the more hair to cover his face.
Yeah,
I'll say it right to your face, Brant, you're ugly.
That is
we hung out with him this weekend, dude. I can say that. I can say it. We're friends.
You're a bully.
Wow, you wouldn't do it for $1 million? That's
insane.
I'm
$1
saying,
million cash right there.
I've known guys that have shaved their heads and then their hair never came back.
Really?
And I don't have a good enough body to be bald.
But no amount of money would change that. If Jeff Bezos walked in, told you he'd give you $1 billion to shave your head right now, you wouldn't do it.
$1 billion. A Billy?
I mean, there's no way that there's not $1 million cash.
I bet we could put 20 grand on that table and we'd all shave our heads.
Yeah, because honestly, think about it too. You can use that money and get a hair transplant and then go to Turkey, have that shit grow back.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably have $1 million for sure. I'm saying but it'd have to be enough money to change my life. At this point, 25 grand doesn't even get me out of the hole. It doesn't even help me. I'd have to be to the point where okay, I pay all my back taxes, everything gets figured out. I got all my debt.
Just think of the amount that the hole you're in, and then that's the amount to get you out of that hole, and you're going to do it.
Nah.
I
gotta say, I know that my future is a lot of baseball caps. That's why I'm always so
he's
optimistic
shaving that.
about
He would shave his for $2 grand. He said, which is mind
Which is
blowing.
fine. I'll wear a hat for a few weeks.
And then he always kind of
Exactly. I mean, if I
no, just give me the money and I'll do it.
I knew if it was going to grow back
right here today.
If I knew it was going to grow back, I would do it. I'm just saying, I've known guys that had
that
full
is the
heads
fear.
of hair and they shaved it once for a joke for Halloween and then it just never grew back. And it's just
scary.
that
is
would
the
be,
fear. It just doesn't grow back.
Yeah.
That would suck.
That is wild. You just keep watering it.
But at $1 million, bro, I don't fucking care, dude. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I would probably do it for 20 grand. I think you could even go lower than that.
I know guys that'll give you a finger for $1 million. Which one? I'll get to any of them.
I'll cut a finger off for
Give me $1 million
easily.
Really,
you cut a finger off for cheaper?
Oh yeah.
How much to cut
Your
a finger
hair
off?
is more important to you than a finger.
More of my personality, for
That's
sure.
hilarious.
I never think about my fingers. My hair is like 70% of my personality.
Yeah, but what, 4-fingered Bowers? Like, I mean, what, like...
I mean, my left pinky, I don't use that for anything. I mean,
Sure.
I'm right-handed.
So how much would you cut your left pinky off for?
50 grand.
But he won't shave his head for $1 million. This is fascinating.
It's very fascinating to find
I'd
out.
probably do 25 grand to cut off a pinky. Would I have to, no, wait.
You're going lower. We're not even arguing with you.
Do I have to cut it off myself, or can I get it surgically
No,
removed?
you can. We'll
Or do I have to like take
a safe, clean way to do it?
Jeff will cut it off.
What was that
I don't
movie?
think I
Was it-
could. I got to get some money for that.
Misery, where she does the mallet to the...
No, there was a movie where they put the finger and they cut it off like it was a contest. Was it
Well, the
Indiana Jones
SNL
or something?
sketch where like Chris Farley's a tourist who doesn't know what the game show is. He's just like in this Japanese game show, and then like the person will answer and then be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's incorrect," and then they just cut off. They cut his finger off on the game show, and Chris is like, "What? I just was told I was going to be on a game show." Like, he didn't know.
You're losing a finger.
Yeah. Also, that sketch in hindsight is pretty problematic now because like Mike Myers is just dressed like a Japanese guy going go 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 go. Like it's like all the characters, and Janine Garofalo I think plays like an Asian lady. Like all these liberal celebrities.
Every one of them's like, I pray to God nobody sees that
Dude.
sketch.
The
Like,
sketch
oh,
is hilarious, and Chris Farley keeps accidentally answering correctly. He's like Taki Michi Noku, and then they're like, yeah, and he's guessing the right
that's
answers.
hilarious.
That's very funny.
Hilarious.
So that's mind blowing. A finger before the hair. That's crazy. I don't know about that.
I got to Bowers opened for me in Sarasota, Florida, and it was the greatest because his father came to the show.
Okay.
So I got to meet the man that made Bowers, and Bowers is such an unusual guy that I'm like, oh, I wonder what his dad's like. And your dad was so interesting.
Yeah, he's just a cool guy.
He's one of the most interesting people.
Yeah, he's a great storyteller, and that's how I ended up. When my parents got divorced when I was like 12, he lived 4 hours away in Canada, and he would drive once a month. Would drive down after work on Friday, pick us up, drive us back to Canada. We'd spend a day there, and then he'd drive us home on Sunday. So I spent like 10 hours a month in a car with my dad for like 10 years.
Hilarious.
What dedication to drive down, pick you guys up, drive back, and then a couple days later do it again?
Yeah, literally, he'd pick us up like 10 p.m. on Friday night, and he'd drop us off at like 4 p.m. on Sunday.
Pretty fucking cool.
Dude, he's the best. He was telling
to
us all these
continue a
great stories.
relationship with that much work, it's pretty dope.
I've actually got to know my dad better once my parents got divorced, because like
4 hour car ride will do that.
When he was there, he was kind of took it for granted. Once he my parents got divorced, he felt like he needed to.
I always think this is not to encourage divorce or separation or whatever, but like divorced parents sometimes it's a little better because you get a week off. So you can kind of like recharge and like do your own things, and then like the week that you have the kid, you can actually be
all in. Yeah,
all in. So
yeah, I've always said divorced parents with joint custody are like you got to be a grandparent.
Yeah,
like you don't have to make your kid brush his teeth anymore. Or you just hang out. You get to go to the cool stuff, and you're still there for graduation and all the soccer games. But you don't have to be you're like automatic grandparents. Like people that fight for sole custody. I'm like, what are you doing? Just have every other weekend. That'd be bad.
Well, I've dated girls with kids, and it's like that. The week that the kids are gone is my week.
Yeah.
So we get to do fun couple stuff, and then the week that we both have.
Well, I tell friends if they're getting which I really think you should do if you get divorced, especially if you don't hate each other, is instead of both moving into smaller apartments, keep the house that you have. That's the kid's house, and then you just switch back and forth. You have a shitty single person apartment.
That'd be great.
And then as long as you don't, and you could even have the same apartment with 2 bedrooms for
I think that's a good idea.
And then as long as you don't fuck in each other's beds and leave dishes in the sink, you know what I mean? Like you're with the kids in their house,
and
they
then
have all their
you
stuff.
haven't shook their system up anyway.
I can't imagine anybody doing that.
Why?
Well, it's a very expensive idea, but the idea is perfect if you can afford it.
Yeah. My parents are going through a divorce right now, and they're both staying in the same house right now, and it's not a bad idea. Like they both get to save money on it, but it's just not.
I mean, I live with Chrissy still, and we broke up 2.5 years ago, and we're still best friends and hang out.
Well, I think it's a perfect idea if you can afford it. That's the only flaw. It's pretty expensive to have a kid's house and then your own like.
Well, I think if you're already paying for your house, then you get they don't have to lose their standard of living, and then you just get a terrible apartment because you're single. You don't care.
You could also tell them as much or as little as you wanted about the breakup,
right?
Because their life hasn't changed. You go, I just don't see them together that often.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be hard. You'd hear stories like, "Mommy brought so and so to the house last week."
You hear that anyways.
Yeah, but it's
when
like
when
your
you go
house,
through a divorce.
that your house that you're, that you're sharing.
Well, no,
It's
you
crazy.
still have your apartment for when you go away.
Yeah, but you're just rotating. Like you get the house
my
this
thing is
week. It just seems.
Oh, I thought I understood it as like mommy has a single bedroom apartment, daddy has his own single bedroom apartment, and that's the kid's house.
Yeah.
So you go to you don't split that one.
Oh, the kid has his own house.
No, the kids stay there. That's kind of like this like home base that you guys can
you get
whatever. But then when you need to go, you have your own apartment for that. So there's not guys and girls coming and going from the mainstay.
Okay, it seems like a lot of money though. Like
Expensive.
you said, yeah.
That's all it is. The only problem is money on that one.
Yeah, I don't know
But
how
I'm rich.
I don't know how you live with somebody that you brought. I lived with a girl for a month after we broke up, and it was the worst thing ever. Like we didn't say a word to each other.
I'll never
It was
understand that.
awkward. We like walked by.
Well,
It was the worst because we couldn't break a lease.
Well, here's the
And
thing.
it was the worst.
My thing is I'm just not mad when a girl decides to stop fucking me. It doesn't piss me off. I'm like, well, thanks for being on the team for as long as you were. I appreciate
Well, yeah,
your
but
time.
you're
You know what I mean?
you know that you're different than
Well, I
most
know,
people
I get
in
that. But it's like, I had a buddy one time that dated a Laker girl for like 3 weeks, right? And she ghosted him or whatever. And I was like, and he was mad. And I go, well, how many times did you guys have sex? And he goes, 8. I go, we should know the number that quick. Like,
Yeah,
let's pretend
for
to
sure,
think
this
about
lonely
it.
fucking
Right?
guy.
But I go, if we went to a Laker game and I'm like, you see that girl in the end? She's going to fuck you 8 times and never call you again. Would you take the 8? He goes, yeah. Well, then shut the fuck up,
Exactly.
man.
Great
Like, I don't
way to
need all
look
your
at it.
fucks.
That's a
I'll
good
just
way
take
to look
some.
at
You
it.
know what I mean? So...
But when you break up with someone, I don't even want to be in the same state as
No.
that person, let alone in my home. Because I consider my home as like sacred. You know, like I don't like people in my space if I don't want them there.
Well, yeah, but I am a weirdo. I mean,
Also,
like,
the reason why you broke up is definitely a big thing. Also, it's like if you broke up and it was amicable, that's fine. But if somebody cheated, like, could you?
Well,
imagine?
and when I was younger, I was probably only breaking up because I wanted to go out and be single boy again, and so like that's not gonna work if we're sharing a space.
No.
I really only broke up with her because I want to go be a sex guy.
Well, my second wife left me for my best friend, and I was the best man in their wedding. So
Yep.
I am a different
we're
kind of a
all
dude.
lucky you didn't murder someone.
Yeah,
over
you're
that.
built different.
No,
I would
but
say
he was
that.
the best man in our wedding, so I wanted to kind of close the loop.
Just saying,
That's what a nice guy.
you're a reasonable guy if you don't count that whole shaving your head thing you said earlier.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Well, I mean, with her, I honestly, we were together 10 years. She was a great relationship, but ultimately she wanted to have a kid, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And I knew my buddy was always in love with her, and they would always if we ever have fights, they would talk and be friends or whatever. And so when I was like, well, I don't want to have a kid, and I kind of want to move to California and be a comedian and all that, I just kind of nudged them together.
It's like wrestling. You tagged him in.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
So he was doing, and by the way, they have a kid now. They're happy, so I'm happy for them, and I got to go be me, and she didn't have to get her heart broken, and it was cool.
Okay.
And she's happy too. His ex is Miss Pat. I see her on the internet all the time. She's doing fine. She's married. She has kids. She's moved on.
Why did Christian not laugh at all?
I did.
Joke? He laughs at everything.
You worked with Miss Pat forever.
I did. She came up at my club, and she was always brilliant and so funny.
She's
and
the funniest person.
But
I think in the world.
I'd come out of the kitchen, and she'd be eating like a piece of salmon and like vegetables, and I'm like, and we didn't serve any of that. I'm like, where did you get that
where did she
food?
get
And she's
it
like, I brought it from home, and then she would make the cooks cook it. She would like bring a piece of fish from home and be like, cook this for me. And they would
that's
do it.
funny.
'Cause, and we had a comedian once. He goes, hey, can you not have Miss Pat do guest spots next time I'm in town? And he was a pretty big comedian. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, she just kind of throws off my rhythm. She's a different kind of comic. It's hard for me to follow her, whatever. And I go, well, I'm not really in charge of whether Miss Pat does guest spots.
Miss Pat does whatever the fuck she wants.
I go, I'm not really in charge of whether Miss Pat does guest spots or not. And he goes, don't you own the club? I go, you tell her no.
Yeah. Miss Pat literally has been doing anything she wants for the last 50 years.
I mean, she would do the open mic, and she would come in and would have a joke she wanted to work on, and she'd go on stage and she'd do her set, and she'd come off, she'd go, fuck, I forgot that joke I was trying. Put me back up.
Yeah.
And she'd go up again. Sometimes she'd go up 3 times in the same open
Just
mic because
a
she kept forgetting the
monster,
joke.
What a good way to do it.
It was awesome.
I am by no means saying she's a good person, but she is a great comedian and an
she's so
interesting
funny.
lady.
Oh, dude, yeah. But no, I mean, it was cool to be around. I mean, when you see, because she'd come to the writing workshop, and at one point, I said, Miss Pat, you don't need to write jokes. Everything you could read your grocery list and it'd be
She
hilarious.
speaks in
and
limericks.
And she's like, what you talking about? And I'm like, whatever. So then she went and did the joke we were working on the writing workshop. She did the beginning, forgot the middle part that explained what the punchline was, said the punchline and got a fucking applause break. I'm like, you didn't even do the middle of the joke. The joke didn't make any sense, and it still got an applause break just because of your intonation. Just the way you talk is so
she's
funny.
a funny person. Yeah, some people just have that. She's a very, very, very funny.
Yeah, she's just But anyway, yeah, she she was just a trip to be around all the time. It was just so funny.
Well, tell us your best Miss Pat story.
Well, my favorite one was she came out for Last Comic Standing, and Anthony Jeselnik is the host, and so she was telling us. She got back. She's like, "Yeah, I think I pissed the host off." And I'm like, she's like, "Well, like he came in. He's like, do this, don't do this, and blah blah." And at the end, he goes, "Don't touch me. I don't like that." Or any questions? Then she raised her hand and goes, "Yeah, are you the host or something?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, you better introduce yourself. No one knows who your white ass is." And he goes, "I'm Anthony Jeselnik." She goes, "I don't know that." She goes, "I got a show on Comedy Central." He goes, "If you ain't built a table on HGTV, I don't know your white ass." So anyway, so after that,
which is also funny,
right?
Build a table on HG, like only she would.
Only white.
She wasn't even trying to be funny. She's
Right.
like the only white person I know builds things on HG. That's true.
Yeah. So anyway, then she asks us. She goes, "Who is Anthony Jeselnik anyway?" We're telling, "Oh, well, he took over for Greg Giraldo on the roasts once Giraldo died or whatever."
There's a giant comedian,
and she's like, "Oh, Greg Giraldo's a racist. I hate that." And she went on, and we're like, "What the fuck?" Finally, after like this 8-minute diatribe, my buddy goes, "Wait, do you mean Geraldo?" She goes, "Yeah, that mother." Because he was like, he was during the OJ trial. He was saying OJ did. I'm like,
my God.
Greg Giraldo was talking about the OJ trial. What's fucking happening?
Also, OJ did it, Miss Pat. I hate to tell you, that's really funny.
Yeah, so she was just a trip. It's just so fun to hang out with her. I've got the greatest video of all time. Is me. I've got it on my locked in a safe at my house. It's still on DVD. I've never put it on the internet. We were at the open mic, and there was this terrible open mic comedian dude, little black kid, and he was just awful. He'd been banned before because his friends all ran on their bill or whatever, and so he stand up in the back, and Miss Pat goes, "All right, the show's about to start," and he goes, "You don't know me, bitch. I'm one of the comedians." And she's like,
first mistake.
So she goes to the host. She goes, "Put me up after that motherfucker." So he bombs for 6 minutes.
So calculated too to be like, I'm not going to deal with this right this second. Right. Put me on after he goes.
Right
on.
after him.
Right after. So he bombs. I mean, the most I've ever seen anybody bomb for like in front of. I mean, it's mostly his friends in the crowd. They didn't laugh. It was awful. And then she gets up and just roasts this motherfucker.
First line, "Hey, black people, this isn't with us."
Yeah, we don't know this N-word.
Like just right. That's how she started it. Just to let him know, he ain't a comedian.
She makes fun of him until he walks on stage, and then she pushes him off stage and beats the shit out of him on the table in the front row.
Listen to this, though. I've seen the video. Like a guy, you think a guy's going to beat a woman. Wrong. Miss Pat wasn't afraid at all. She said her famous line, but she used it just in everyday cause. She goes, "I've been shot 3 times and hit by a dump truck," or whatever it is.
"I've been shot 2 times and hit by a dump truck. I wish a motherfucker would."
Yeah, and so she says this to him. And now we're all getting the sense, as I'm watching the DVD, that she's going to fight this man. Like, this is not... She takes her hat off, puts it on the stool, takes her hair off, puts it on the stool, and then lunges at him with the mic like a prison shank. Like...
Hits him like an NFL lineman. Like, hits him both hands,
yes.
Knocks him off the stage, off his feet, leaps down like a cat.
While she's hitting him, you can see the cord like Looney Tunes from the microphone. Like just... And it sounds like WWE because it's the microphone. So it's like, boom, boom. And then she's beating him so mercilessly that you can hear someone in the audience go, "He's had enough."
No way.
Like, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it.
So at the end of it, she's in a rage. And she comes out, she's like, "I'll beat your ass. I'll beat your ass."
Oh, yeah.
And then she goes, "I'm sorry, y'all."
Yeah.
Like it hit her.
Like it fucking comes to.
Like,
Like, I'm
all
sorry,
his
y'all.
friends.
Also, that young, confident, small black open micer. He works in a business somewhere now with a wife and kids. He's completely been
quit
humbled.
comedy. That was
he
his last
quit
day.
everything. He just goes, "Oh, that was the worst day of my life." His rock bottom was going to that open mic talking shit to the giant Miss Pat.
God, she killed him so hard. It was so
So that
So
video's
funny.
out there? Is it out?
No,
there?
no,
You
it's
have
just
it.
at my
He
house.
has it.
You have the video.
Yep. Yep.
That's funny.
So good.
It's one of the best. All these heckler own videos. There's never been a better one than this.
So Indianapolis just played the Los Angeles Lakers on Saturday, and the Lakers crushed them. I mean, like, I'm so pro Lakers right now. It's my favorite. Or I'm so, like, obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
How much, if you were at an Indianapolis Pacers game, to run on the court? You just have to go from one end to the other end.
Ooh. I mean,
Like, you don't have to streak. You can keep your clothes on or whatever, but you got to run on the court from one end to the other. No offense, you don't strike me as the fastest guy in the room.
Yeah, not in these shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, do I have to
They're
make
probably
it?
gonna get you.
Do I have to make it, or
I don't know. No, I think if they grab you, that counts.
You don't have to.
It doesn't. You don't have to make it. There's no like. You still get paid either way.
I mean, I don't know what the fines and all that shit would cost you or whatever. Either. So I'm like, I would say probably $3,000 just to make sure I could cover the jail bails and all that shit. Because whatever.
Let's look it up, but also lock in $3,000. I'll pay you that.
What's funny is when we were in college, we had this guy in our fraternity who was just a tryhard. He wasn't a fraternity; he was living on our dorm floor. But he was just like just tried everything like. When he played sports, he would like talk shit in the play. Like,
he thought that was part of it.
Yeah, he just thought he was fucking cool. And he was terrible. He was terrible at shit, but he was a braggart and whatever. Mm-hmm. So the guys in the dorm decided to play a trick.
The guy at the bar who roots for the other team just to try to get everyone annoyed.
Exactly. So to fuck with him, they sent him a letter saying that they were doing a tryout for an intramural all-star team for our college.
All-star.
And they had to try out Saturday morning. And so a bunch of us went out. We all were in on the joke except Brad. And they fucking put him through a 6-hour basketball tryout. And he's like slapping the ground and like fucking running around. He's like,
you guys were all in on it?
We were all in on it.
That's brilliant.
And it was hilarious all day, right? We're trying not to break. And he's like, beat you. Like fucking talking a bunch of shit or whatever. And then they just, the next week, sent him a letter saying he didn't make the team. Which was hilarious.
Also a letter.
That's even better.
But the second, that's the one we voted on, decided to do. But the other idea somebody had was that we were going to buy tickets to a Pacers game, and that the intramural team was going to play an all-star intramural IU team at halftime, and then get jerseys and all go, and be like, all right, Brad, you're our captain, lead us out, and then let him run on the court, and we just all back up like the Homer Simpson meme.
Yeah.
Watch him get arrested.
What a diabolical plot. Like a prank, dude.
So we ended up just sending him the letter saying, and he was all bummed. I didn't make that team. How did I not do it?
Hilarious. I was better than everybody. That's hilarious.
Does he know? When did he find out that it was a fake team?
We never told him.
He never
doesn't know that now.
The guy just still tells his family how he almost made an all-star team.
Intramural all-stars. And also, an all-star team is like the best from each intramural team. You wouldn't need a tryout. It's just already flawed, like just in the title. And he's like, oh, I could be an all-star of an intramural?
Not to a guy with an ego, dude. Hilarious. He's all about it.
Wait, so this says if you run on the NBA court during a game, there will likely face a fine, but it doesn't say, that means no one knows on the internet?
Allegedly.
Yeah. Just
interesting.
I mean,
several hundred to a few $1,000s.
Yeah,
they'll probably just bounce you out. I bet they would just grab you and say, you got to leave.
They'll just write you a strongly worded email.
I know in baseball there's a fine. Excuse me. I know in baseball there's a fine because it's all over the internet, and I know in football there's a fine. Maybe because the NBA court is so small that they're just like, just get him out of the stadium.
And you got to hit a guy.
No. Wait, let's see here. A fan just ran on the court. I've never seen anybody do it in the NBA. Oh, they got her ass though.
Oh, don't show him the video. Then he's gonna back out.
This is in Dallas too, Luka's old home. Yeah, it's interesting that I bet an NBA player will swing at you or something if you get too close to him.
No, yeah, just.
So I always thought it'd be funny to like
take out a ref,
smuggle in a mascot costume and a backpack or something.
Yeah,
and then just dress like a gorilla and put on a Colts jersey and see if you could walk it around and get on the field. If anybody would check your mascot credentials.
That's how the Phoenix Suns gorilla became a mascot.
Really?
I swear to you. So Phoenix Suns gorilla is one of the most famous mascots ever. So basically, it was like I'm gonna make up a year, but it could be the 80s, could be the 70s. I don't know. They did with these singing telegrams. And the options were like, a guy in a diaper with like a crossbow, or like, not crossbow, whatever it is, whatever Cupid is, crossbow, just Katniss. No, so it's
Walking Dead.
It was like Cupid, a gorilla, or like there was like 3 options or whatever, and they picked gorilla. And they sent a singing telegram to somebody at the Phoenix Suns game. And back in the day, a ticket was, just whatever. Right. So he came in as a gorilla, and he sat in the stands. And then the cameraman kept panning him, and he would, like, do a little thing. And then they were like, can you come back tomorrow? And he's like,
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So then they asked him to come back. So then he just came back the entire season. They gave him better seats each time for free. And then I think, like, the next year, they just had a gorilla, but that's how it started. Because the fans fame of that guy.
Nice. The fan probably went nuts every time he go on camera.
Oh yeah, everyone loved it, and he was like dancing around, and they were like, "This is."
What did
awesome.
He sing?
I don't think he sang anything.
He wasn't a singing.
But
telegram?
Now he dunks, and now he does all. No,
now
is interesting.
Now he's a gymnast.
I forgot that it is.
He never even did the singing telegram.
I think he did for
he
like
took
whoever
the money, went to the game, and became the mascot.
Yeah, that's the American dream. Yeah. Fuck your birthday song. Now that I'm here,
hey, I see you're on TV every week, but what did you sing? Did you do the thing? He's like, oh, I forgot, man. My bad.
Oh, that is funny. I didn't even think about that. It was some sort of telegram. He's supposed to be for someone else, and then
Your husband's dead. He died in the war.
oh my God. That's what we should do. Just give her that news.
Just think the Suns mascot could have been a Cupid with a crossbow, dude.
I know.
A baby with a fucking crossbow.
I couldn't describe Cupid very well.
No, yeah.
What's that guy? He's got wears like Depends.
It's a guy with
He's got
diapers and a crossbow.
Like Cupid, Jeff? Are you trying to describe Cupid?
It's Valentine's Day soon, you know? You're getting all excited.
You know the words for these things.
Yep. Should we go? I got another one. How much to just go on Bumble, and then take the first match that matches with you, and take him out.
Him?
He'd do that.
Oh, I do that a million.
Do you know you're talking?
Just whatever, but you got to swipe right on everybody, and the first one that matches,
you think
you got
I
to
get
go
a
out.
match on Bumble?
One of my that's funny.
I'm not kidding. When me and Chrissy broke up, I swiped right on every single person on Bumble for a month and a half and didn't get a single.
Well, you
got to
get out of the
not one.
Get out of the age range you're
No, I'm saying
dude.
50. I was looking for 50-year-old women.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Not one fucking swipe.
One, I
call
hate
it humble.
But two, like one of my favorite things about Bowers is he has no ulterior motive when hanging with men or women. Like just in general, like hanging out. You just genuinely want to be with the person. It's my favorite attribute about you. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't want to have sex with the girl he's talking to or whatever, but it's not even in his zeitgeist. He's like, yeah, we'll have a good time. We'll drink. And, she seemed good. Great person. And, I'll be like, well, did you guys end up, hooking up? He's like, no. I'll be like, did you try? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you're so matter of fact, but also just, you genuinely... When I'm on a date, there's a motive. If I don't think that I have a future with her, then no thanks. Or if I want to have sex with her, that's the motive. There's something. It's not just let's get dinner and talk.
All I'm saying is I like being friends with cool women.
Yeah, I know.
So that's
really
nice.
nice.
I don't need to,
I hate women.
I said I love women. I love hanging out with them. I think that, but I will say that I have a bit I've been doing that's basically when women want to fuck you, they are crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Women I don't have that energy for me. They're not going through my shit. They're not mad at me. They're just cool.
Chill, yeah.
Because they have no sexual interest in me, so they can just be themselves. And women on their own are pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's when they're trying to get a guy. I noticed this, we were talking about this when we were in Sarasota. What's funny about hot women especially is when they like a guy, which is very seldom, but when they actually like a guy, they neg him. They're like, oh, you're not fun. You're not, and they try to tear him down because that's what works on them. Right? When you neg a hot woman, her brain gets weird, and she's like, oh, maybe I do like you. Where guys are like, no, just compliment me, man.
Yeah.
I don't need
Not
anything.
Jeff. Ladies, Jeff loves when you nag him.
No,
Please
that's
keep
not
doing
true at all.
it. He loves it so much.
Opposite.
And by the way, the thing I like about you the most is that you're such a positive dude, and you're not, we're not busting each other's butt. We're building each other.
No.
Hey, this is great. I mean, you hang out with him, it's Josh is always
mean.
you guys all suck, and you're a bunch of pussies. Blah,
Just
blah,
talk
blah, whatever.
shit to him, ladies.
Bullshit,
Where when me and you hang out, it's not like that.
Yeah.
We're you know what I like
but
about
that girl
you?
in Sarasota, this chick was gorgeous, in my opinion. I thought she was very beautiful. And we're all walking back to the hotel. She lost me in that walk just by being like, oh my God, we could have called an Uber. And then I stop and go, should we get an Uber? And then she's like, well, I mean, I don't know where we're going or what we're doing. I'm going, he already told you 1,000 times that he has alcohol and we're going to the hotel. That was the plan. Everything's closed. You are welcome to come or not join. Right. We're walking. But if you do not want to walk, we should get an Uber. Let's get an Uber. And she's like, oh my God, fucking, you're no fun. I'm like, what do you mean fun? I'm explaining.
Was that the tone you used, though?
Yeah, it was pretty annoying.
Well,
by the
then,
15th,
But
the 15th
she
time.
was just, everything
it.
was some sort of problem.
Yeah.
And it was just
Well, that's just some
I
people.
don't want to even be around you. The idea of YouTube and McDonald's sounds 100 times better than putting up with your bullshit right now.
Yeah, that's just some type of people. Everything's
Yeah,
always.
I
an
think
issue.
she's probably
There's
a great
always
lady. I bet you if she listens to
Well,
this,
they-
she's
by the
probably
way- by the
awesome.
way,
She used to listen
she got
to it.
drunk.
They were just drunk, and they were in a loop. Their
she-
brain
yeah.
was starting over every 5 minutes, and
She's
every 5 minutes she's like,
repeating
where are we
things.
going? I'm pointing at the hotel. We can
Yeah.
get an Uber now, but it's literally half a mile, which
Ugh.
is, again, you got shoes. I get it.
But girls always ask me, they slide in my DMs, what do I do with Jeff? And it's just nag him. He loves it, and that's what I tell all of them all the time.
I hate it.
And just keep doing it. It's his favorite thing in the world.
It's not going to work.
Dude,
Does that work? But
You
Josh,
become
honestly,
ugly to me immediately.
does that
when
work
they
on
nag
you
me.
if a girl shits on you? Do you find that more attractive, or do you like
I
when
do
they?
not if I don't know them, but if we're dating and you talk shit and you're sarcastic and you banter, I like that. But if it's just like,
but we're trying to win you over in the
just
moment.
meeting, no. I mean, you don't know me.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think women think that because that's what works on them, that's what works on guys.
I don't know if there's some guys like that, and that's why they do it, or for their. I don't know why.
I said this on our old podcast, but I'll say it again. Bridget is a girl that I love who lives in San Diego that we all know down there. And the reason she wins every time out of anyone else who wants my company is she's so nice.
She's the sweetest.
She's supportive. Like, if someone else says a thing to me, Bridget will be like, "Shut up, Josh," and then she'll like she's so like positive. Everything's nice. She's always building you up. She's always making.
Doesn't
you feel
sound like
good.
she was very nice to me. If she says, "Shut up, Josh,"
you'll like say a thing, and then she'll be like, "Don't listen to that." Like she's just
she's very sweet and complimentary. Yep. She doesn't try to do that game. I don't know why people do it. I mean, guys do it too, though. So, you know.
Oh, for sure. Everyone does it. I just don't. It doesn't work on me.
Christian likes that when girls rip on him.
God, no.
No?
No. I think, but
it's
awful. It does work on women.
It does work, yeah.
It does work on women. I just don't think
me.
it works on men. And I think women think it works on men because it works on them, so they're reverse engineering. It's kind of like when it's like you talk about Bumble or whatever. You go on, I'm on Hinge or whatever, and it's like, and my friends that are female, I'll see what guys put on their Hinge. I don't think men know what women like, and I don't think men know what women
Facts.
what guys like. How many times you're on Hinge and the third picture is a cat?
Right.
You're trying to find a man, right?
Yeah,
like, I'm
what
not
are you
anti.
doing?
Well, I don't like cats, but like that shouldn't be the third most interesting thing about you. You can
100%.
have a cat, that's fine, but like,
I agree.
no one's like, ooh, a cat.
I don't
Like,
know, though, because that could be a deal breaker, so you might as well put it up third.
Also, I will
Like,
say,
if I see a cat, I'm out. So it's like, you might as well
Well,
let
I mean,
people
that's a
know.
good point, I guess.
What about this?
Like, a
Like-
dude holding a fish. Like, no girl's like, oh my god, a fish.
Dude, he caught a fish.
think
That's
these.
insane.
Yeah, it's like I just don't think men know what women like.
Did he
vice
fucking
versa.
catch that with his bare hands?
I was gonna try and find one of these like high-end chicks, like one of these girls who just has like an A-list lifestyle or whatever. I was trying to find one on here, but I think that also works against them because sometimes you'll see a chick and you're like, oh, she's like riding in a Maserati. I don't know whose it is, but it is in this reel that she's in a Maserati, and then she's doing like a video where like just the jars and Tupperware that she's meal prepping in are too expensive for like in this $5 million kitchen, and like it might be just be an influencer house, you know, but it is so visually intimidating.
Yeah,
you're losing guys just by portraying that lifestyle.
Because you feel like she's gonna be like Shania, like that don't impress me
Well,
much.
I think in a,
Brad Pitt doesn't impress you.
but
Go fuck yourself,
she's
Shania. Jesus
so-
Christ, Brad Pitt.
she's silly to
What do you have, regular Tupperware?
think that is gonna help her.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree
because
with you.
it puts a lot of pressure on the guy at that point too, because they have all these nice things. What can you do for that? Like when
Right.
they have all the nice things, like fuck, like I offer nothing but
Right.
dick at this point, you know.
Or it also like, oh, so I've got to play for the fucking Miami Dolphins before my lifestyle is impressive enough for this chick. Like,
Yeah.
also, who the fuck is she?
Well,
Like-
my problem on all the dating apps or the whatever is like I feel, and this one's in real life too, where I right now I'm either like, oh, she's gross or she's out of my league. Like I don't find anybody where I'm like,
Interesting.
oh, she's pretty and I could get her. I don't
Right.
think anybody on there that's hot enough to fucking get my attention. I know I have no chance with. She's not going to be into me. I'm
Interesting.
50 and broke. What the fuck have I got? Right? And so, but then all the ones that I probably could get, I'm like, ugh, no, I'm better than that.
You're just pre-self-determining.
So
That's
what
real.
you- Again,
But
whatnot.
that's so honest.
That's so real, yeah.
But it's also very.
She's too hot.
Very
Oh,
male.
She's too
it's
hot.
very the way men think.
yeah.
Like what you just said. Millions of men will go, yeah, I feel that. Yeah, sure. Monica wants me. Monica's a monster.
Right.
You know. Yeah, it's 100%
Yeah,
true.
I have Tinder Plus, which means you can see who likes you on it. So I'll I'll be like swiping, like I'll see like a bunch of hot girls, like I'm like, like slim chance, but I'll swipe right on them, and then I'll get like 15 like likes on my profile. All of them are found. I'm like, no, like
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
swipe. Like, nope, don't want
Yeah.
them. No thanks.
Which I guess you like. It's good to know you're not crazy. It's every man's battle. You know,
Yeah.
like every
Yeah,
man
that's
is
maybe-
going.
It's also kind of disheartening though, because you're like, this girl thinks that she could.
literally, yeah, also real,
the
also
most
real.
brave ones that like in my DMs that like shoot their shot. I'm like, in what world?
Yeah. I'm like, am I really this
But
ugly?
that's so funny about, you know, like I think I've told you the story before, but that's what's so funny about women. And again, I love women, but they have this sense of like one night me and Brian Moot, who Brian Moot's a decent looking guy, right? Tall,
Yeah,
fucking good looking guy,
6'4", yeah.
right? And so it was back when he was single and he's swinging dick. And so we're down in Louisville and it's just bad. Like the shows are just bad. No one's there.
Yeah.
And like I always joke that the reason that bands get more women than comedians is because the band doesn't have a second show. Because all the hot chicks are at the first show and the second
they don't
show.
have to do a Friday late show,
right? Like they all left.
That's great.
Right?
The comic's gonna run long, and then it's 2 a.m. and totally.
Yeah, or just the girls from the first show are always hot, and the girls from the second show aren't.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
And they're not gonna wait around for 2 hours.
So the only girls of this whole weekend, the first show, there's these 4, and I mean fat. And but they were like 4 bills each.
Right.
I'm not saying they're chubby. They were big girls. Right, so big they were going to a drag show after the comedy show, if that makes sense. Anyway, so they're like, well, we'll maybe meet you at the hotel afterwards. We're joking. Yeah, we're in the hotel, blah. We told them our room number because we were fucking
said meet
joking.
at the hotel. It sounded like they said beach at the hotel.
The whale suite.
Which sounds like a fat
We're
thing
in the
to
whale
say.
So then fucking, by the way, that never do the girls show up for me, right? But fucking, here it is, 2:30 in the morning, these chicks call us up, hey, we're coming over, blah, 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 right? So it's me and Brian Moot and these 4 huge women, and I picked the third hottest one.
Yeah. Third. Yeah. Out of the 4 fatties.
I'm no Brian Moot.
Yeah.
So I picked the third one, right? And so we go across the hall to get a beer or something in my room, and I try to kiss her, and she goes, oh, no, sorry, I like Brian. I'm like, you think you're going to get Brian?
Well,
he's only hanging out here because of me. Because I'm like, come on, man, please. Like you're not even. You're the third hottest one of all the gross women. What are you?
You're the
talking
grenade
about?
lady.
That's hilarious.
What
You're
are
the
you talking?
grenade.
You think you're gonna get Brian? But they had that. I'm hanging out with you. I can't tell you times where like there's women that I'm like,
I know.
what?
Well, here's the thing.
You
They've been lied to.
Have you seen what Jeff was talking to over there?
Lying to women for so long. Not just me, but just society. That every girl thinks they're this prize. They think they're like, I know my worth. It's like, no, you don't. Your worth is 0.
Well,
you're a big monster that doesn't even know how to dress. You're terrible, and like, but in their mind, they're like, I've been built up.
Well,
I'm a 9. Like, you're not a 9.
Well,
you're
part of it too.
1.
Part of it too is this, and I always say that women walk around with this confidence, like every guy in the world wants to have sex with them.
Yeah.
Which is true. But the end of that sentence is once.
Yeah.
Right? So every guy fuck any girl once, right?
Right.
But it's, and so like, but because that's the case, they walk into every room and every guy's like, oh, who are you?
Yeah.
But they're not going to spend time with them.
Well, I just always think it's like there's also unattractive men and fat men and gross men and monster men, but at least they know it. Like whereas with women, they're all just beaming with confidence and beaming with this like a boss bitch, and you're like, no, someone's got to be honest with you. You should just find a guy at your level and do that. But instead, they're going around going, no, I'm gonna get a NFL quarterback. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, no, it's.
You see how delusional the women are like that too. On you said you're on the dating apps. Are you on Hinge?
Yeah.
Have you used Hinge? I'm guessing
I've
not.
never used any dating app. Yeah.
So
He
Hinge.
didn't even know there were dating apps.
No, I'm aware of them, but I'm like just so like it has its own problems like in the system that I don't want to deal with.
Well, I got banned from Hinge because you can respond to people's profiles, like they can put prompts up, and
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
This wasn't my finest moment. I was just in a really bad mood one day, and there was this big fat girl.
Yeah.
Who had acne all over her face. She was literally like a 0. Like you could not pay me any amount of money to have sex with her. And one of her prompts was, you need to be 6 feet tall, must go to the gym every day, and must make 6 figures a year.
Yeah.
And all I commented on her thing was, in what world will that happen for you? And then like I logged into like a week later, and then my account was taken down. So
She's like her dad invented Hinge. You know?
yeah. Well, I definitely did that to like a handful of people. Like when I get angry, like I'd see something insane like that, and I'd be the one to like try and bring them back down to reality.
I will say it sounds like we're being mean, but the truth is, it's just that like I feel like people have to be like realistic about these things. Even you saying like you think you can get Brian, it's like you're being aware of your situation. You're just
Right. Like I didn't even think I could get the top 2 of the 4. Like I was still like,
Yeah, because we haven't gone around going like, no, Bowers, you deserve a fucking Victoria's Secret model. Don't date these pigs. Like we've just literally, we're honest with each other.
Well,
man.
and I think too, what women don't understand. Like I had a friend of mine, and we went to karaoke, and I told her, I said, yeah, I'm kind of lonely. Why don't you try to hook me up? I've hooked her up several times. I've like whatever. I'm like, be my wingman. She's like, cool. And then she goes, She looks around the bar. She goes, so which one of these girls do you want to have sex with? And I go,
Which
oh, you think
one?
I get a pick?
Oh, yeah. It's that
That's
easy.
hilarious. You think I choose?
Bring me any of them.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
And Bowers can't be choosers, man.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, that should be a sticker.
I just have to wait around and see which one likes me, and then
Bowers
see
can't
if
be
I can
That's fun.
Yeah.
if I can handle it.
It
That's
is crazy.
funny.
The best advice for men, no matter what age you are, is just dial it in for yourself. Like, just stop. Just stop the pursuit. Get into some hobbies. Get into some interests. Just dive into, like, just say, how can I make my body look the best? How can I make the most money? How can I just entertain myself with my interests the most? Just get so into that you become attractive to other people.
Or wear them down.
Well, nah, I don't like that.
Because here's the thing. Once you start like finding new
I just
interests,
didn't like his way to do it. Work out, do you?
well, yeah, because once
not.
you say like
We know
every
you
day
like
I'm
that.
gonna make my body a little bit better, every day I'm gonna make a little bit more money, and every day I'm gonna like dial into whatever my interest is. You're gonna meet chicks at that new interest. You're gonna meet people in that community of whatever, and you're not like spending all your energy going, maybe this girl will touch my dick. It's so exhausting. Well, and they can smell the desperation.
Yeah, I know.
Well, and honestly, the thing I'm turning a corner at 51 is I'm trying to take sex out of the equation. We're talking about being friends. Like, all the best relationships in my life that I've had with women were women that I never fucking hooked up with.
Interesting.
I have so many best friends and awesome women I have great relationships with. They love me. They care about me. And when a girl doesn't want to fuck you and she hangs out with you, I mean, she likes you as a person, which is kind of nice. And they don't spend your money. They don't decorate your house dumb. They don't bitch about when you hang out with other friends. Like, I can hang out with I can hang out with 10 women at once. You know why? Because none of them are trying to fuck me.
Right.
If they fight, or they fight each other or me, they'd be mad. Right. So like now, when I meet an amazing woman, I'm like, hey, I want to be friends with her for 30 years.
Yeah, I love that.
So I only fuck the terrible ones, because
yeah,
it's like
if you
loaning
need
somebody
to have
money.
sex, you just go to one of those massage places, you know?
I don't know. Never been to one.
You've never been to one?
No, what is it?
You're missing out. A
It's
rubbing
like a
tug?
little place where these Asian ladies will touch your penis.
Yeah, there's a $30 one in Hollywood.
$30?
Yep.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
way.
In
That
2024,
can't
I
be
got friend zoned by 2 different hookers.
good. Yikes.
How's that for statistics?
How does that even happen?
Gave
Well,
us the-
you don't
He gave
pay?
us the year and twice by
I'm
Women
saying
of the Night.
The first one was in Vegas. I was walking down the strip in Vegas, and this girl walks up. She's like, "I love your outfit," and whatever. And then her dude peeled off, which obviously was her pimp. And
Yeah.
I had the 10-hour layover in Vegas, so I just walked around. We walked around for 8 hours and talked about her kid and her dreams
Yeah.
and her life or whatever. And then we got back to where I met her, and she gave me a hug. And she goes, "All right, well, my pimp's gonna want money from you, so you better get out of here." And
nice.
I was like, "All right, cool." I gave her a big hug, and I left, and we're
Yeah.
still friends. And then I had one in Hollywood.
Well, it's because the pimp can't take money from a guy that didn't fuck her.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, but like, I met a woman in Hollywood, and we actually negotiated a price like $200, and I'm like, all right. And then by the time we got back to my house, she told me about her dreams and her dad, and was crying, and we just cuddled all night. And then the next day, I was like, "Do you still want the money?" And she was like, "No." And she actually gave me $200 and hired me as her life coach, and I'm still her life coach right now.
Oh my god!
Because she's like, "This is the best conversation I've ever had with a man. You really restored my faith."
Love
in
that. No, you're
humanity,
doing the
blah, blah,
Lord's
blah, blah,
work.
blah. So
You're out here
That's
saving
insane.
hoes, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Right? First
I have
love.
a bit in my act right now where I go, hoes do cuddle better. You know what I mean? We'll just hold, just a slutty gal, and I'm just a slutty guy. We're holding each other going, I miss dad, too.
Just holding on.
I wish mom was nicer to me.
So anyway, I'm just saying, I'm taking, like, when I take away because sex is cool, I guess, but like the relationships I've had in my life that didn't, every time I have sex with somebody, I lose them. I get weird,
yeah.
they get weird, it becomes a thing or whatever, and you can't hang out with 4 women you're fucking,
Right.
so then it's like, then Christmas parties are weird, you can't invite all the same people or whatever. I was like, I'd rather have 20 female friends that are just my friends.
I love that.
Pass.
Well, there's no dating app for that.
Wait, so you said you're still her life coach to this day?
Yeah, like she'll like call me and be like, oh,
Day one
should I
stuff.
go back
Get
to
out
beauty
of the
school? And I'm like,
fucking
yeah.
Is she still a prostitute?
industry.
I mean, she's more of a stripper.
Oh, I was gonna ask if I could get her number after the show, but
I can give you that.
Wait, what? You don't want to meet a stripper?
it's. I'll meet a stripper. It's not as fun, not as exotic. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Well, that's we go to that Naughty Pig bar on Sunset. It's next to the Body Shop, and there's nothing creepier than going to a strip club to meet a woman, but there's nothing cooler than sitting at the dive bar next to the strip club where she takes her break.
There you go. Well, I think a lot of them are always out there chilling, right?
Yeah.
From that place?
Yeah, there's always a bunch from the Body Shop or the Naughty Pig having a drink.
The 6 a.m. flight Sunday from Las Vegas to San Diego was always a good place to meet all the strippers, too. They'd be flying back home. Yeah. You would just be on a flight, and they're just getting off work. You're like, oh.
I dated a girl that was a bottle service girl, and I'm pretty sure in hindsight that she was like an escort.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Bottle service is just a fake
not
label.
for sure.
I don't know.
But
I know a lot of bottle service girls, and they make so much money they don't need to.
Yeah, they don't need
like,
to.
they make so much fucking money. It's insane.
but
Just bottle service. Just putting a sparkler in a thing and looking hot. Ashley would make $900 a night in Indianapolis. Like,
but you could
so
also
Vegas,
see it go the other
making-
way. The guy's spending a lot of money on bottle service, and he wants more. You could see it go the other way.
Well, I'm wondering because like her lifestyle, like she would have all these expensive things, and I'm like, she's flying to Vegas to be a bottle service chick, like literally every weekend.
That's how much they make, though.
And
I
in my
think she's
mind,
probably making $5 or $10 a night. I bet.
I think
as a
so
bottle
too.
service.
But like, I thought it was from escorting.
No, I don't think
It could be. It could.
I mean, it could, but I'm saying those bottle service chicks make so much money.
They make, especially in Vegas, they make a lot. I had a
She
lot
was
of
like
friends.
the lead bottle service girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had a lot of friends that would fly out from San Diego just to do the bottle service in Vegas for the weekend.
That changes.
So, they make a lot of money.
Yeah. I got one for you guys. One of these.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
How much would it cost for you to spend 1 week in the Denver airport? You fly on a Sunday afternoon at like noon, and then you
shit. I should have done it.
You can't stay in the hotel. You can't go to the hotel. You can't go to any of the lounges. You just have to have 1 week wandering around like you have a 7-day layover.
I don't know.
You just got to kill
do
time.
All right, so you texted us this, and I spent a lot of time thinking of it. Which, by the way, send us.
It's a good one.
You send us these kind of questions. We love talking about this stuff, and I've thought about it a lot because I've spent so much time in an airport. I would argue that I'm probably one of the best travelers, dude. I have everything in my bag that's like for each little moment or scenario. I've really mastered traveling, and it would be so boring to be at the Denver airport for that long. But it does have outlets. It does have coffee. It does have food. You picked an airport that's fucking huge.
And it's open most of the night, too.
Oh, yeah. And so, like, it wouldn't be hard to find a little area to sneak off to, like, sleep. I mean, you still be in the whatever, but, like, when it's slower, you could lay there and you won't feel weird. And a week is a long time.
My price would be very high.
Why?
Because of sleeping for a week there. I had to sleep. One night I got stuck in Denver airport. They changed my flight from, like, 9 p.m. and they moved it to 6 a.m.
Yep.
And they were like, sorry, we didn't cancel your flight. You got to take the first flight. We're not getting you a hotel. And I had to try to sleep in the airport, and I was just laying on the cement, and it was cold, and it was like, that was just fucking 10 hours.
I think for 2 nights, you could get me at a really reasonable price. I think if we're doing a week. I need at least $50,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't say that I wouldn't do it for like that amount. If you would put $50,000, I think I could do most shit for a week.
Yeah, I do.
That's what, like, I think that's a reasonable amount.
And the expenses, you got to take care of the food and that shit also.
Yeah, because that shit's
well, you
expensive.
got to add that in your price then. That's how the game works.
$50,700. I want $100 per diem a day.
Yeah, because I'm going to be going to that coffee shop a lot.
I do it for 10, I think.
And then what do you do if
a little more than 1,000 a day?
Day 4, they kick you the fuck out of the airport?
No, I think you also got to kind of, because you can't, I don't know if they'd let you be in there if they knew
I
what
think
you were
they
doing.
do. They just let people fucking be at the airport all the time.
Yeah, that airport's big enough. You'd have to get a ticket so you could get in there.
Right.
But then I don't know how
Yeah, you
you'd
just
stay
fly.
for
Well,
a
you just
week.
fly there and then fly back. That's just what you fly in at noon and fly out at noon on Sunday.
I can't imagine not doing it for $50,000, but it would be
50 grand's a reasonable
It would
amount.
be really hard for me to do it because I don't know if I would sleep for a week.
I think I could get pretty drunk in the airport bar every night.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah.
And it's gonna
then
make you
pass
want to
out.
go to bed because like the airport kind of shuts down. Most airports shut around like 10 p.m.
Just waking up.
and they'll have like a
hungover.
late flight that'll just kind of deboard. But like the airport, it's
That's what I like about Denver. Like in Vegas, you're right. Like I did one where my flight got in at 11 p.m. and didn't leave till 8 a.m. in Vegas, and I tried to just stay in the airport and everything's closed.
Yeah,
It's
it's
too
sucks.
small. Yeah.
But Denver, I flew just a couple. That's when I came up with this. Is the McDonald's is open until 3 a.m.
There you go,
In the food court thing, like the bagel shop opens at 4.
I've
so there's
been
only
to
like
the
an
Denver
hour.
airport for like 12 hours before. Like it was like super long. And I just like crushed show after show on my phone. So like in modern times, it's a lot easier.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're not raw dogging it. You're not just sitting
Yeah.
out the window. I mean,
Well,
I have
that's
my
the thing.
phone
Like
for
I literally
sure.
like took a nap, and then I woke up watching another thing. It was some Kevin Smith show, and I was like, it wasn't bad. It was
How long did he do it in the terminal?
What?
The movie The Terminal. How long was he there?
I don't know.
Months,
Let's
I
look it
know.
up.
Wasn't he months? I think it was
Is that what the premise of the movie is? I've never
Yeah.
seen
He
it.
basically
he can't get out.
He flies in and his visa's revoked and he can't go into the. You can't be in the United States, but for whatever the airport counts as.
He's trapped there indefinitely. It says.
Well, that was. I mean, eventually he leaves at the end of the movie.
Oh, okay. It was just indefinitely.
Never saw the movie.
Yeah,
well, I wouldn't do it if it's indefinitely.
That's fine.
18 years.
He was in there for 2 hours and 8 minutes. That's how long.
18 years?
Yeah, it says
No,
18 years, right?
bro.
Oh, I'm looking up.
In 2003, Steven Jones.
Our producer he's blind, so sometimes it takes him a while to.
Is it based off a real thing? It does say 18
Yeah, it is
years.
based on something.
Am I blind, Josh? Or
No,
look?
you're right. The real terminal man lived in the airport for 18
I asked about.
years.
I didn't ask
18
about the real one. I asked about Tom
Well,
Hanks.
Well, I
Maybe
think in
you
the
gotta
movie it's 18
clarify.
years.
Yeah, why would they make the guy in the movie not be
There's
there?
no way he lived there for 18 years.
Yeah. The
Well,
real
if it's
guy.
a true story, Josh.
And we're
He
bitching
did
about
it.
7 days.
No,
Say it.
you're a bitch about 7 days. I'm thinking about getting rich.
And
off
this
these
is
7
this
days.
was in the 70s when you didn't have a cell phone or any of that shit. You were just like walking
Everyone
around
just
the
smoking
airport.
cigarettes
I can't believe
in the
he got
airport.
away with that for 18 years, though.
No, he couldn't leave.
He's a fucking squatter, dude.
Like everybody knew him. Like in the movie, like everybody loved him.
Yeah, he wasn't allowed to leave because of paperwork.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think that it would be like you'd have to really prep. But like again, you have everything. You have water. You have outlets. You have.
You just don't have. Do you
It'd
have
be
showers?
harder to be like
I
in
go-
the woods for 7 days.
Can I go sleep in the Amex Diamond Lounge?
Nope.
Like, can I do that
No
for a
lounge.
week?
They won't even
no
let you.
hotel. No lounge.
Where are you
no
gonna
hotel.
sleep in there?
I don't know. Can you sleep in
They
them?
need to make those pod beds. Those
Yeah.
fucking things are great.
They have the Atlanta airport has the sleep, like the little you can like
Really?
go. It's called take a nap or something, and you
All
can
right,
go.
I'll go do it in that.
I
airport.
and everyone else I've ever met invented this, right? We've all like had the idea, like they should put like beds in here that you pay by the hour. I didn't know someone did.
Dude,
it.
I remember I invented it when I was like 5.
I thought of it.
So I'm
And thought
pretty
I
sure
thought
I-
of it first or something, but
When did you think of it? Like at 5 or something?
no, I was one.
Well, because then I was older than
beat
you.
you.
You
No.
weren't even born.
You didn't think of it when you were
dude.
one.
When I was
You
5.
were lying earlier.
I was 5, but you're
'cause
so
you
much
knew
younger
that
than me,
you
dude.
knew that you
Did they
were-
even have planes when you were 5?
Oh, yeah, we could smoke on them.
Oh, okay.
Cigarettes.
Okay.
I believe that.
Bowers, how much to wear a cape for a week?
Everywhere you go, not around the house.
Would anyone notice if I wore a cape? I think it'd just people would be like, "Oh, is this the next level of Bowers?"
Yeah, they
I think
go,
it'd be
"This
fine.
makes sense."
I think if you buy me a cape, I'll wear it. I don't even need money.
Will anyone even notice? They're like, that checks
Buy a
out.
sparkly cape.
Any
or like-
cape we
Yeah,
want?
Also, he'll just keep wearing it like after the week.
Yeah,
'Cause he's
that'd
like,
be great.
dude, people like it.
I swear to God, I was on Fairfax and there was this. I almost started wearing capes. There was this like badass like fucking shoulder thing, had
Yeah.
feathers. It was like this cool ass thing, and it was like $7,000. So
I love
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But I was like, if this was $1,000, I would
be
probably,
cape guy.
I'd probably start wearing capes because we were gonna like go. We were going.
Let's
to
get him a cool cape.
We should do it.
Put it
I
on
think
your
you should
to-do
wear it.
list.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool
I'll
cape.
I'll wear a cape.
We got to get you a good one though. Would you want it to be sparkly like
Yeah,
this?
I'd want it to be
like Ric Flair.
like a wrestler cape.
Yeah, Charlotte Flair or Ric Flair.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if Ric Flair wore them, but his daughter wears big capes that match Ric Flair's persona. Can you put on there Ric Flair cape?
Yeah, I got you.
RICFL. There's no K. I don't know how I
fucked that up.
anticipated
Oh,
that you'd
yeah,
spell
there
that
you go.
wrong. I know he wore robes, but I don't know if he wore a cape.
Well, yeah, does that purple one count as a cape?
These are all.
I mean, you don't want to wear
know.
that.
I guess yeah,
I'd
that's
wear that.
kind of.
That's
You'd
fine.
wear that?
Yeah.
He's always wearing robes.
Like a
That's a
jellyfish.
robe. Interesting. It
That
doesn't
looks
matter.
cool.
We'll find you a good cape.
And you're just going to wear it for a week.
I'd wear a cape for a week.
Fuck
All
yeah,
right.
dude.
This was sent in by the a listener. How much to do a monkey bar fight?
Oh god.
Oh.
You seen these?
So now I thought she
There's
said
no
how much
monkeys
to.
involved. By the way,
I thought she said how much to fight a monkey in a bar. That's originally what I
Yeah.
thought, but it's not monkey bar fight. We'll look it up here.
This went viral a few weeks ago or months ago, where it's like they go new sport unlocked or whatever. They pull up a perfectly square bar, and there's 4 guys hanging from each side of the bar. Now they lift it up, and you're just last person on wins.
And you can get kicked in the face. And
Whatever you want. There's no rules.
My problem is I don't think I could hold myself up on a bar.
A
Yeah.
lot of heels to the chin.
Like I don't think
I also would do this for free if my friends, I would do it once or twice. Just
Would
to
you
try
do it with the Verzi triplets?
Yeah, I'd have fun.
You
Kick
versus
their long
them?
ass off.
You'd be in a huge disadvantage.
No,
though.
Jeff would be in a good. If he
I'm
can
way
get his
longer
legs up,
than them, yeah.
Yeah.
No, because they're so much higher up, so they would
Lot
have
of
the
heel.
leverage of legs to face real quick.
Wow.
What are you talking about? I'm not saying I'd
That's
win. I'm
insane.
saying like I'm way longer than them.
No, I know, but if they got their legs above your head, because their legs
Also,
are so
they all
short.
hate each other. They'd be kicking each other.
I mean, the three of them might go at you though.
If they did that, I'd be.
How much would you do
Look
that
at
for?
this heel kick.
You do that for free, Jeff?
Yeah, I'd try it. Like, when you want to try it?
No.
If you were on it?
I'd try it.
And
With just,
Christian's
like, me,
on it?
You, Justin, fucking Cheech.
Oh, if it's just me and Josh, I'll do it right now.
Me, Christian,
you wouldn't want to try it?
Bowers said he's just going to drop off.
I don't think I could hold on. I think I just don't have the upper body strength to hold on that long. But my hands are weak.
It looks wild. I'll tell you, I damn sure wouldn't do it with strangers. They kick me with their heel in my
get
chin
kicked
or
in the
something.
face.
Break my jaw. I can't do comedy no more.
Have you seen
You think we're not
underwater
going to kick you in the
jujitsu?
face, though?
I think that you guys will be a little different. Also, I'd rather you kick me in the face than a stranger that I'm gonna be like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say Josh is definitely kicking all the pent up anger and everything.
Pull up.
I don't have any anger.
Kick the fucking shit out of that guy.
It depends. If I win, do I get $1,000? Then yeah, I'd kick him in the face.
Have you guys seen
would kick
underwater
whoever.
jujitsu? Would you guys ever compete in this?
Underwater jujitsu. Well, I don't know jujitsu.
No, it's like choke each other out underwater.
Basically, yeah.
That sounds like a nightmare.
They have car jujitsu. They have like underwater jujitsu. It's like insane.
All right, so this guy's holding his breath. Oh, they're not underwater.
I think they. Yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah, this is a nightmare. That's attempted murder.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
Well, he helped him out there, didn't he? That hip toss was him.
Do you get to tap out?
Yeah.
Dude,
When you're
I didn't
drowning?
realize how much of gravity is involved in jujitsu.
Yeah. It obviously makes it a lot easier.
Because
to
he
do
can't
this.
really throw him if he's got no leverage. You need like gravity. Look, he can't throw him.
I would do that against Jeff for free.
This just looks gay.
He would drown.
And then
I mean,
All right, car
Would
jujitsu.
you do this? The
Now
slap,
we're talking.
The slap.
No, we talk about that on here. How much for you to do that?
what is this?
wait, it's so funny because they have to take the. They take the seatbelt off. You can use the seatbelt.
Car jujitsu.
Yeah. You can use the seatbelt to choke the other person.
Sure.
I'll do this in Jeff's car tonight.
This is a lot better than the water one because it's actual jujitsu.
Right.
This is gonna ruin the car.
I just picture you and I doing this, me wrapping the seatbelt around your fucking...
What's the goal though? What are they just trying to pin a guy? How do you pin someone?
Tap.
Oh, tap.
This is so stupid.
I know. Like whoever's idea this is terrible. Even the ref can't see. He's like, I don't know.
Okay.
Quick guillotine choke with the seatbelt.
Look at them acting like they're athletes. They're all
Is that
proud of
Mr.
themselves.
Beast?
That's insane.
And then
but
he
yeah.
interviews him in the car. What does the world come to?
How about if you win the car? How about that? I do it for that. If you car jujitsu and you get the car,
You get to keep the
afterwards,
car,
you
keep
get
the
to
setting.
keep the car.
Only if you kill him.
Yeah, it's for
That's
jujitsu
interesting.
for pinks.
Car jujitsu.
What'd you say on the slap box? How much did you get slap box?
One slap. We just got to stand there. You also have a beard. That might help.
I mean, by one of you guys or by a professional?
No, professional.
slap guy?
Well, I mean, we could entertain that too.
Yeah, let Josh do it.
But I get slapped by Josh for $1,000.
Now we're talking.
I'd like
And he
to
gets to
slap-
do the whole
yeah,
thing.
whatever, he can slap me one time for $1,000.
I would feel so. I feel so
Lock it
bad,
in.
dude. I would feel so bad. Like,
But a professional guy
slapping
has
him?
to be at least 20.
You know what would happen?
Okay, so
Is he would do the slap, right? I'm paying the money, right? And then he would like do the slap, and then he would pussyfoot it. He would like barely get you. Then we'd have to pay you $1,000, and then I'd be mad at him for years. And you fucking didn't even really slap me. He goes, what? I'm not a professional slap boxer.
I would barely like hit
that's,
him.
that's exactly how it would go.
I would miss like barely, but
Yeah.
barely hit the front
or
of
it
his
would like
chin.
suck, but it would be. We could tell you went half. So 1,000
See,
for Josh, but how much for like
A
a
professional
pro?
guy'd probably 10 grand just in
10
case I
grand.
broke my jaw or
Yeah,
whatever.
dude,
but
these guys do it for way less.
I had an idea. So we were watching the bar. They had it on the TV, and I thought it'd be fun if you did it with women. But it's the women, they hate each other that they work with each other.
Oh, that'd be
And
great.
It's just called Bitch Slap. That's the name of the show, and it's just you bring on a coworker and you get to slap each other until you're done.
I wish there was more.
So that bitch Janet and fucking
Let's bring Janet out.
I wish like Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson or whatever. Or
yeah.
Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson, or I don't know if that was Logan Paul or whoever it was. Like they should be like, oh, who's doing the comedy fight this year? Like where it's like Shane Gillis fist fights
Well, that'd be fun.
Dave Chappelle, or like there should be each little. Since everyone's famous now, you have.
Well, that was celebrity boxing.
You can't even make cupcakes now without being like the cupcake guy on TV. So it's like, which chef is gonna fight which chef? Which housewife's gonna fight which housewife? And that would be like a thing every 6 months or every 1 month or every year. It's like, who's doing the comedy fight? This is a shitty card. It's so and so versus so and so.
Nice.
I think it'd be some like I'd love that.
Would you do it?
I would do it, yeah, but I'd take it real serious. It'd give me a reason to get dialed in and like go to a gym.
They're like, it's you versus Joe Rogan.
No, I would never fight someone good. I'd fight someone at my level.
You get to choose.
Well, I'm saying like I'd fight someone at my level. I'd agree to someone.
Who is your level? Who do you think in comedy that you?
Yeah, Chris Stefano.
No, he's a big boy. Like he's like thick.
I just want to get you to
It's got to
say
be
a
weight
name.
Classes, It'd have
Let's
to be
get you
like
to say who you'd beat up right now for the likes
like
and
Amir
clicks.
K.
I'm gonna see him tonight. I'll set it up.
I think me and Amir K are even.
Ooh, he's a boxer though.
Oh fuck! I was just thinking of body types. All right, I'm trying to think.
We're gonna do that clip for sure.
Me and Liza Traeger, we're both fucking 250 pounds.
You and Fortune Feimster?
Oh yeah. No, I'm trying to think of somebody that's like
Jonathan
You
Kite.
and Matthew Broussard.
Jonathan Kite. Sure, yeah, somebody like,
Yeah, Broussard.
Broussard's an athlete though.
You
for
guys
sure.
would both not want to hit each
But I
other's
would
so
faces.
pretty. Yeah.
But I would train for it. And-
What about Callan?
No, he's a fighter.
No, he would kill you.
Him and Broussard would both
See, it's
go
not
like,
fair.
all
I
right,
think that's
no
what
hitting in the
faces.
face.
No faces.
I think it has to be someone like we're both entering this kind of blindly as far as fighting.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, because you got to learn how to take a punch. There's a
Yeah,
whole
but
different.
like
there's a
Callan's
whole-
been training for 30 years to fight someone.
You and
Just waiting
Chappelle?
for it.
Yeah. Who? Chappelle?
Chappelle Lacey?
No.
You would kill him.
Yeah, Jeff, I love you, but
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm not pretending I can
Yeah.
take Chappelle. That's ridiculous.
I'm just trying to start shit over here.
what about you and Josh?
Like someone that me and Josh would be good.
I would
like,
kill him.
but I think that like I would just take it so like I would go, okay, I'm
Serious.
getting paid for this. Like let's everyday work on it.
How long would it take you to train?
I don't know. Whatever the fight was, I'd train.
If you were fighting me, how long were you training for?
I don't know, a week.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Right
6
now.
months.
Quick work.
Let me do 3 sit-ups. I'll be out.
Everybody's got. How much for you guys to fight each other?
Oh yeah, how much for you guys to fight each other? in a
Wait,
ring?
like fist fight?
Nah, like we'll put on like
Boxing,
gloves,
the
like
the whole deal.
16
Set it up.
ounces.
Set it up,
Does the winner
$1,000.
get the purse?
Yeah, winner gets purse.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Guys are gay.
That'd be fun.
$1,000?
You better set the rules too.
$1,000?
Like you got to be like, all right, are there wrestling takedowns? Is it just boxing?
Just boxing.
Is this the
in this
beginning
room,
of a new podcast
in
or
this
the end
room.
of this one?
Yeah. That
Fight
would be
club?
fun. Yeah.
Every
I
guest
was
that,
in a fight club.
every guest that comes on, you have to fight the guest before you ask them the
Welcome
questions.
to We're Gonna
terrible.
Fight.
You know how long we would take us to book each episode? I'd be like, well, I don't want to have him in here. Like, what is? Because you got to fight him before.
We finally have girls on the
Oh
podcast.
yeah. Every episode's a chick.
Finally.
No, the thing is we're gonna fight. It's just a regular podcast, but when he rings a bell, you have to
Oh,
stand up and start fighting right then.
Yeah.
There's no warning to it. You don't know when it's gonna happen. It could be in the first 10 minutes. It could be the whole hour. It doesn't
Dude.
matter. There's a party.
Oh
like,
my
ding,
God.
and you just
Get
jump
up,
up. And
yeah.
just fighting.
If
Welcome
I
to
had the balls, like that'd be a great podcast.
Welcome to We
Because
Might
everyone's just
Fight.
waiting. Like,
we might fight.
Welcome to We Might Fight.
Yeah.
Like you.
also the YouTube comments are just like spoiling it. Like, just skip to 26:32. That's when they fight.
Or they're goading you. They're like,
Yeah. Oh, this one took forever before you guys fought. Shut up.
we didn't even think
just
you were
wanted
gonna
the
fight.
only part that is problematic.
Oh my goodness.
One of our mutual friends, Justin Downey, the best guy ever. He always has these crazy ideas. He's awesome. He always has these crazy ideas, and one of his ideas was like called like a fight bar. So it's like Roadhouse. But the idea is, if you don't want to fight, you don't have to. But at the same time, every hour there will be a fight. So what happens is like you go knowing like, oh, we should go to that one bar where people just fist fight every hour.
Right.
And so you can go and just know that you want to view a fight, because who doesn't want to view a fight? But if you also just want to rumble, you're probably going to go to this bar. And what happens is like a lower area and then like a balcony, and there's a timer on the thing. So everyone knows when you're allowed to fight. Now, if you don't want to fight, you better get upstairs and out of that lower area
Right.
before the buzzer. But if the buzzer happens, whoever's down there's welcome to fucking rumble. The problem is it'd be just too many people watching and not enough people fighting. But if you
Also,
could get enough people
cheap
in
shots, like
like
people
a
just
mosh-
taking cheap shots would be
like a-
tough.
Yeah, if it's a mosh pit,
That's what a mosh
basically.
pit
similar,
is, but
yeah.
I think he's
but
gonna
actual fist fighting.
He's gonna be pissed you just shared this idea, dude.
Well, the insurance part is the toughest part.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
company's so worried about
Yeah.
you slip and they have you sign a fucking stack of paperwork.
See, I had the same idea as him, like pretty much basically.
When you were
but
1 year old?
No. When I was 7.
Way before Justin.
When I was
did.
7, but my idea was everybody got knives. Like
Terrible
everybody got to
idea.
do knife fights.
Yeah.
So basically, everyone commits murder.
Yeah,
that's
the
what
bar
you're
was
saying.
called
His
Welcome
idea
to
was
Knife
way
Fight.
better.
See, I always had an idea where you have a female strip club on this side and a male strip club on this side and a singles bar in the middle.
I like
So
that.
people
a
go
good
all
idea.
horned up and then go. Fuck,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. You guys
That's
could
a
be
really
on the
good
male
idea.
strip
I
club
like that.
side, and I'll be on the female side.
I just wish the strippers were more, generous. They're always so snotty.
You got to go to the right strip
strippers.
clubs, though.
They don't want to go hang at the singles bar. They're just can't
No, the
wait to get
strippers
their
don't.
money, put on their little sweatsuit.
Yeah, the strippers don't go to the singles bar. The people,
Oh.
the customers.
Ah,
So you go have a professional get you all horned up, and then you
Nice.
go meet the six that you get in the middle.
that's a good
I
idea.
got a feeling it's gonna be full of all dudes.
That's a good idea, though.
It is a great idea.
I don't know, man.
It's a great idea.
Chippendales was a
Do women
was
go to a
thing.
lot of strip bars?
You ever see the
No,
documentaries
but
about
they
Chippendales
probably
back in
don't
the
need
day?
as much horning up as we do.
Yeah, that's true. Too funny.
I haven't even seen a singles bar in a million years. Like a place that advertises we're a singles bar.
I feel like it's so sad nowadays. Like, no one wants to advertise
And
that,
no
you
one
know?
goes out.
Yeah, especially
Yeah,
since
nobody's
COVID,
fun.
I went to the Woodman the other day with my buddy just to get some dinner on the burger deal on Mondays. And it's not as I remembered it. And it wasn't because I was sober. It was just I was like, this is pathetic.
Yeah, young people don't party.
Well, when
Yeah.
did you
Like they
go,
do drugs,
though?
but they don't drink, right?
crazy.
So I say the only people that still party are Gen X and black people. Everybody else is lame as fuck.
I didn't even see black people there or Gen X.
When did you go?
It's Monday night.
But what's 5 p.m., 6 p.m.?
Good question.
Because if
Probably
it's 5 p.m. for
7-ish or 8.
yeah, it's not really the party yet.
It's also on Monday,
Monday
though.
night's pretty tough, but
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I guess that's the last time I've been to a bar that I can think of.
But back in the day, 10 years ago, Saddle Ranch was packed every single night till.
No, yeah. And now
And
it's
now
not.
it's like some nights that there's people in it, you know,
Right.
but it's not like there's.
Young people have stopped doing what we did when we were young.
It's because it's all COVID. It's literally ever since COVID. The COVID ruined the nightlife in LA.
Well, that's the time stamp of when it's kind of happened, but I don't know.
There's a lot of
I
factors.
blame the phones more. That part of LA, especially, was you used to be able to go out and there's Johnny Depp or whoever. And now because of phones, no one goes. The celebrities don't go out
Right.
because they're going to get caught on a phone somewhere.
Yeah.
and get a video. So they don't go out. So there's not as much of I might go to a bar and see Brad Pitt. That'd be cool.
Listen to this. I just did a podcast before this with George Janko, his beautiful wife, who's either younger or the same age as him, and his awesome friend, who's either the same age or younger than him, right? So 3 young people. They asked me, when's the last time you went to a party in LA? And I go, what do you mean a party? I didn't even know what he was talking about. And he was like, like a part. I go, I've never been to one of those. I don't even know what you're talking about. I go to Super Bowl parties, Halloween parties, these kind of things. They couldn't believe that I don't go to parties.
Well, your life is a little different though because you're gone every weekend.
Yeah.
If you were here every weekend, you'd probably go to some more parties.
I've
'Cause
never been
that's when
invited
parties-
to a party in my life.
But that's when parties happen, is on the weekend. You know? It's
Also-
Friday night, we're throwing a party, and they just know you're gone. So
To
you're not-
know how separated I am from young people. I kept saying things, they had no idea what I was referencing.
Really?
Yeah, I said, I remember when I was a little kid, I saw Chris Farley, and I thought, he doesn't work for a living. Chris Farley doesn't work, isn't an attorney, or he doesn't work, in a warehouse. I'll just do what he's doing. He's just funny for a living. Now, I didn't know if that was stand-up comedy, or you had to audition, or go to, Second City, but I just knew he was doing it, so I was I'll just do that. And they go, who's Chris Farley? So I very graciously just described Chris Farley instead of doing the you don't know.
Yeah.
But it was just another moment in my life where
Yep.
I go, oh, I'm older.
Yep.
They don't
But
know.
that's not an age thing. That's just people not being educated, or because how do you not know fucking Chris Farley?
Well, they're just young. That's all.
They're older than me, and I still know him.
I don't know. I think that people just don't know.
I mean, it's you have the greatest example of Aaron Judge not knowing who Seinfeld is. You
Aaron
know,
Judge plays in New York City. He's never heard of the show Seinfeld or knew who Jerry Seinfeld was.
Really?
And Aaron Judge is a gigantic star who plays in the biggest market in baseball, but he's just a young guy. He knows streamers and TikTokers and that. That's their people. It's just there's no reason for them to know
Yeah.
Brian Regan. Like there's like we think everyone must know who we know, but it's just not the case.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's such a bigger.
crazy.
There's so many more quote unquote famous people than there used to. I mean, it used to be like 10 people
now
on television,
everyone's famous,
and
yeah.
now it's like, I mean, literally, go back to Saddle Ranch. There's a bunch of TikTokers there. You know,
Yep.
I don't know. It's like, oh, this person has 7 million followers, and they're like rich and famous and whatever in that arena. And it's like, I have no idea who they
Dude,
are.
I stumbled upon a girl like last week on Instagram. I was like, who's this chick? 43 million followers.
yeah.
She's wildly famous. I had no clue who she was.
That's a ton of things.
It's just crazy. It's just, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Everyone's famous now.
All right, does that should we wrap it
Bowers,
up, buddy?
thank you for
Yeah,
being
dude.
on the podcast.
Thank
Where
you, brother.
can people see you or support you or watch
All my socials are at Bowers Comedy. I do mostly Instagram and Facebook, like an old person. But I tour with Jeffy here sometimes, so I'll be at Salt Lake City coming up, and then Rochester, New York, and then
you? Rochester's going to be a good weekend for us.
that's gonna be a lot of fun. We're doing Bakersfield and Bellflower, and then so just at Bowers Comedy. I've got a website.
Joshua?
Josh Nelson Comedy.
And I am at jeffjai.com. Check out all my dates. This is a jacket provided by John Varvatos. So I want to give a shout out to John Varvatos. They've been very generous to me with clothing, and I appreciate that. And come see me live. Love you guys.